Morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in the world. This is Philip Chan, also known as the 10-second maths expert. Today on Radio Works World with my wonderful friend Marina Nani, and today we're going to share with I want to share with you a little bit about legacy. For me, legacy has been a subject on my mind for some time. Whether you know it or not, everyone has a legacy. Yes, everyone, and in fact, everything that you do is a legacy because that's who you are, and that is what is makes it so unique. Now, for me, I look at legacy in five areas. One of them I think of is it meaningful. For instance, like there be someone who's actually their legacy is to set up people with addictions on gambling, and perhaps other people set up the thing on alcoholics, the AA, and things like that. Another legacy is about being temporary, and it may well be sometimes, people get together to arrange a coffee morning to raise some money on an annual basis, or to set up a membership club or mothers club and things like this. So that is for me is a kind of temporary because also once the children are grown up, that clubs then no longer exists. But for a period of time, couple of years, that may be a wonderful things. But then other people may take that on. So that is another form of legacy. The third type of legacy is what I call lasting legacies, and this be, for instance, like the Women's Institute in the UK. They have been going for many years all over the country. They're doing a fantastic and wonderful job to actually wherever they are in towns to get women together to share hobbies, interests, for confidence, for social, and that's been a wonderful organisation. And I've been very lucky for about 25 years. I've been invited to a number of their institute to actually give a number of talks on behalf of UNICEF to do the fundraising. In fact, I just remember there was one occasion I was doing a relaxation session with one of the groups, and there was about 40 ladies there, and obviously they lie down on the floor on the mats, and we did a enjoyable relaxation. And after a few days later on the newspaper, and this came out on a small article from the local newspaper saying Philip Chan got 40 women lying on the floor doing exactly what he wants. I thought, wow, what a way to blow my reputation. But it was fun. So that's things like all football club people and other people may back in the World War One. The veterans have actually set up the association, and they've been going for years and years. And sadly, I think for the World War I veterans, I think last year was probably the last year. But there's also other veterans in U.S. armies and other things. They have their own uh, set up clubs, and that I'm sure will last for a number of years. Then there's another type of what I call global legacy. People like Greenpeace, United Nations, and what one way now was UNICEF. And these organisations, the legacy that is going worldwide, that will have impact to many different countries. And then I think the last category is this what I call the eternal. And these are if you like, the people like Nelson Mandela and also the early fathers of America when they actually created the Independence Day and these legacy that goes on. So that's the five areas. Now on a smaller scale, we we also have our own legacy. And I one of my friend who's a very successful businessman. Obviously he's very business, but his legacy that for his five children every month he actually arranged one day with each children. He blocks that off right at the beginning of the year that each month his five children are the first thing that goes on I think. And it's interesting enough when those children has grown up they also did the same thing. So that's a form of legacy that I have known of. I've been very lucky. The shirt I'm wearing, as you see, is UNICEF. In the about 8 months ago, I was asked to see if I can join them just to add on some ideas of the legacy project that's coming up this year and beyond. I've actually created what I call a honeybee legacy system. So the word honey is an acronym HONEY. H is for history, O is for ownership, N is for new adventure, E for evolving, and yours is for your the Y is for your family, and the BEE, that's for bonding, empowering, and everyone. So this is the project I want to actually present to the UNICEF UK team, and then to follow on that, I have a legacy matrix. The word legacy, and that's also an acronym LEGACY. The L stands for learning, enrich. The G stands for G factor. Ladies, it's G factor, not the G spot. So please don't get that mixed up. Otherwise, I'll be in trouble. So, oops, did I say that? Okay. I think Marine, you may have to edit that out in case I get in trouble for that. The A stands for achieve. The C stands for create, and the Y is your story. Now, in all of us, whatever we do, there's a legacy, and the legacy is, as I said, it's what you have created yourself. It's what your children follows, and they're training from you. You are their role model, and they will actually, if copy a lot of things. I used to go do a lot of gymnastics competition, and it's quite interesting. When you look at the way the gymnasts walk, they actually mimic the way the coach walk. And if you actually look at the way the coach walk and you look at the gymnast, they say, yes, I know that is from that team, because they just mimic his or her mannerism. Your children is an extension of you. So a lot of things that you do, they will copy in some shape or form. So the question is, what is going to be your legacy? As I said, some people are very conscious of that, some people are not conscious at all. Marina, I don't know if you want to come in at this point to share any of your thoughts before I continue. Marina, hello. Okay, no, that's right. And first of all, welcome to my guest, the Spina. And if you can hear me, and if you do want to join in, please feel free. As I love to have my guests and any other guest that's listening in. If you do want to join, I love to hear from you. So
thank you very much, Philip.
Well, yeah. Welcome from Cyprus, and it's great to have an international author and speaker with me. So I'm very grateful for you joining me this evening from Cyprus.
Yes, I'm here. I'm joining you, and also George is here, but he doesn't want to be in front of the camera. But he's next to me and is hearing very carefully of you.
Well, I know of a bit about your legacy in the sense that you're currently writing a very important book.
Thank you very much, Philip.
So, actually, I'd love to. Could you just share with our listeners just a little bit what you're writing right now? Because as we're talking about legacy in terms of this is your legacy. So I'd love to just for just maybe 1 minute just to share a little bit what is the book that you're writing right now.
Yes, I'm writing about. I'm writing a book about women and how and I am giving based on 10 fundamental truths the way how they can react and how they behave in their marriage in order to achieve a happy and successful marriage. And actually, I'm not sure about the title of the book, but almost I decided it will be the truth in marriage. And truth means trust, respect. The R is respect. The U is understanding. T, tenderness. H, honesty. And of course, and some other truths.
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, obviously, when you've done that, and also, I'm sure your two sons, they will also use your advice, and then they perhaps eventually to your grandchildren when we have them. Then that's wonderful. So thank you very much for sharing that.
Thank you very much, Philip. Thank you.
Over the years, first of all, for the listeners who don't know much about me, I'm actually an OH pensioner. I'm actually a retired teacher for I've been teaching for over 45 years, and in that time, I actually have taught in 9 schools in the United Kingdom, and also as a sports coach, I've been involved with lots of different sports, coaching from national to international standard, and also as a some of my ex-trainees have gone on to the Olympics, winning gold, silver, and bronze. So that's a wonderful thing, achievement for them. Back in 1969, one of the organisations I got involved was Oxfam, and during that time there was a war in Biafra and in Nigeria, and for me that was a major event changing in my life, because obviously between then and 1972. That was I was actually hoping to get into Olympic Games. Also at that time, I actually was involved in helping 18 charities at that time, but now it's down to 14. There was a number of things that's happened. One charity is called Shelter in UK. That was to help people with homelessness. We went from and the first small office in London in the Strand, and within 1 year grew to 2, and today it's gone to all over the UK. So that's us, and also I want to thank all the team that's have put in their dedications at that time to create something that's long lasting. Although homelessness is actually a bigger problem now today in the UK, if it wasn't for Shelter, then a lot of people today would actually be living in the street. So the legacy of Des Wilson, who was the first person who really sent the organisation on his feet. So Des, wherever you are, I want to send my congratulations and my thanks for all your work to actually get the shelter going, and together with the 200 people which we started off with, that was a fun time for a stressful time, but your legacy lives on today, and hundreds and thousands of people now is actually getting a benefit from that. So Des, from me, thank you for that. Another organization is called Rehab. It's not the drugs organization. It's an organization to do with disabled and able people, so they actually integrate it. Because there were a time when people thought that if you're disabled, there's something wrong with you, something mentally wrong. Now we know that is rubbish, and for a lot of people know that is totally, well, crazy. And that organization has helped to put the disability on the map, to change people's attitude. We used to do an event called the 18 Bridge walk through London. The 18 bridges in London we go across. It's about 20 miles. So we do that once a year, and every quarterly we have a magazine that comes out. Towards the end of the program, I want to read a poem from that, and that poem has actually stuck with me by a reader that's written that for a long, long time, and that's always been very, very close to my heart. So before the program, I want to finish with that poem. Also, another organisation as I've been involved with Oxfam, and back in 1969, also there was the Biafra War. Myself and a number of people was raising money to that, and there's one event that's lived with me now for 47 years, and so if any of my team is still around, still alive, and I just want to say hello, thank you for all your work, and also to your dedication to actually save hundreds and thousands of lives with your dedication and your sacrifice. There was 4 of my friends who was going out on an operation, and it was supposed to be a very simple drop and return operation. They went with the cargo, dropped the food out there in Biafra for 1-2 days, and came back. But when they got there, they discovered all the doctors in that area was killed. They have first aid knowledge, but the children, just treat them as doctors. And also they were actually out there for something like 4 months. And when they come back, they were very changed people because they're working something like 22 hour days in the heat, and they had to make this awful decision. Sometimes saying, "Right, I'm sorry, you're not having food. You will do," because the food was very short in supply, and they had to make that instant decision. So actually, they were actually in the middle on the second year of the degree, and that they just mentally fell apart. So actually they actually sacrificed the degree, but in the process they actually helped to save thousands of lives. So for my former team, if you're listening anywhere and you're still around, this is the lamplighter speaking here. So now you know my code name. So I'm very grateful to you, and I'll in my recognition for you. I want to write a book about you some point. So and that would be my legacy for my thanks to you. Some of the other in fact, there's a poem I'd like to read to you now, and it's the person's called CSF. He was going out on an operation, and he probably was unlikely to return from the operation, and obviously at that time. Uh, when you're actually involved in charity, you get very close to people, and there was a girl that fell in love with him. But there was a possibility that he won't return. So this was the poem that he has written for her. I have journeyed far and wide. It's taken half of eternity to find such a beautiful soul as you. Yet our time together has been brief. I thank you for touching my life with your love and specialness. Soon I'll be leaving you on my journey to be with my Maker. I hope that in the time we've been together, I can leave you a sea of sunshine in your heart, so that in your journey, you too will share your seeds of love and hope to touch each and every one you meet. You will see me no more, but when you feel the warmth of the sun on your face, it is I, your friend, who is caressing your face with my love. So that was a poem that he sent before he left, and since then he survived the operation, but unfortunately they have now lost touch. But it's just one of those things. So that's a small legacy from him to her, and also to thank her for the sacrifice as well for giving up actually her career at that time to help the operations uh, with the food and to raise the money. And again, you know, she have actually lost her, gave up her career to save lots of life. So again, for me, to thank you for that. Now, as a teacher for over 45 years, I have actually taught hundreds and hundreds of students. And one of the things I would love to do is to write a book about my pupils. Well, actually, so it's not so much me writing the book, but I want them to contribute their stories because I know over this time a number of them actually has been incredible. They have made incredible achievement. Some have gone from nothing to become millionaires and very successful in business. I know other people have gone through several divorces, but they single hand have actually raised their family, and their children have actually doing amazing things, and that to me is a legacy. And also there was no bitterness. The children have raised a very healthy, wholesome people. So although they've gone through several divorces, which is often very hurtful for them, they have actually come through strong, and they're teaching values to their children. And so I would love to share those stories. And also I know other people have gone through very difficult illnesses. They come through the illness and financials. So I would love one day, for my people for them to send in their stories to me, help them to compile it. In fact, the other day I was actually met up with an ex-pupil 2 days ago, and we had a coffee together, and we chatted. And her dad passed away a few years ago, and I know at the moment she's going to be working on something to in honor of him. Um, I think originally she was going to come on the program next week, but she felt that right now the timing wasn't right. So one day when it's right, and I love her to come and share her specialness with you. So the question is, whatever we do, we are leaving a legacy, and I'd love to hear from you. What is your legacy? I want to be working with people, as I said, through UNICEF to create a model and also a system called I said the honeybee legacy to teach people if you want to actually leave behind a book or something for your family, so they too can actually add on to your family uh, treasure legacy. That I would love to actually share that with you some point, and this will be part of my fundraising for UNICEF to help to raise more money so that they can do the fantastic work in over 150 countries as well. So I want to just to finish off with one poem now, and this is actually written by someone very special, and who's a member of Rehab, the able and disabled, and the poem is called Human Rights by the Handicap. I have accepted that I must be forever held back by infirmity, but searching life force does not abate, nor yearning a need to participate. There's need to live before one dies, to know more laughter, fewer sighs, to live and love, to be involved, and strive to get some problem solved. I long to feel, not just to think, to be immersed, not on life's brink, to know a commitment absolute with precious challenge at its root, to use my mind, a path to find, and help life not its skeins and wine, to be of use, be wanted for what I can do, no less, no more. These things makes living all that's great. Don't let it be for me too late. So as I conclude this show called On the Legacy, I hope that just a few ideas made to share with you. The legacy is very special for you, and I hope that one day when we meet, we can have a coffee and tea together. And I'd love for you to share with me what is the legacy for you. It could be in print. I know for my friend who I taught early on, her dad left behind as a legacy some beautiful, wonderful drawings, and I love her to get it on print sometime, and for her to share her stories with you. And I know my good friend here, Despina, when she was writing her book, her legacy is just how to actually share her knowledge with her wonderful husband George, and to share with their two brilliant sons, to have live a healthy, wonderful, loving marriage, and also when they have grandchildren, that could lead on to their grandchildren as well. So Despina, thank you very much for joining me, and
Thank you very
also.
much, Philip. It was very interesting, whatever you said, the poems as well. Everything was very, very nice.
Thank you. And wherever you are now, thank you very much, and have a great evening. And I'd love to hear from you soon. So for myself, Philip Chan, I'm signing off now. And have a fantastic day, fantastic week, wherever you may be. So bye bye for now.